Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know from you guys see from the title down below what I'll be talking about today. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So I got pregnant in 2022, August of 2022, and I was supposed to have my baby April 9 of 2023, right? So when I found out that I was pregnant, it was a bittersweet moment for me. It was super scary because I was like, wasn't expecting it, and it was my first time. I didn't know what's like the feeling. I was excited, but a part of me was terrified because I was like, I know what pregnancy comes with. But regardless, when I found out that it was a girl, I became more or extra excited, and like I just could not wait to like meet my baby girl and everything, to become a mom and all those good stuff. So I'm gonna try to fast forward. I don't want to draw this story out. So yes, um I was supposed to have my baby in April of 2023. So my pregnancy, for most parts of it, was pretty smooth as it relates to health wise, for both me and for my baby. So the pregnancy overall was smooth until I was in my third trimester. I think I was 37 weeks plus. Then one morning, like, oh, it was a night before I went to bed, and I was like feeling some terrible cramps, some crampings, and I was like, okay, during that trimester of pregnancy, so close to 40 weeks, which is full term, you expect to feel Braxton Hicks and stuff like that. So it was like, I don't know, I have a height pain tolerance, so I wasn't really paying it much to see that, oh, probably it is more than Braxton Hicks or whatever be the case. But when in the morning, when I woke up, like, I went to the bathroom, and when I pee and I wipe, I saw, like, streaks of blood. I was like, what is this or whatever be the case. I was like, I called my sister, and she was like, probably it's mucus plug, something like that. I don't even remember like most pregnancy terms. So I think she was saying like probably it's like the mucus plug or something that is passing because the baby can be soon. But anyways, I'm like, I'm not taking any check with this. So I went to the doctor, and they sent me to the hospital. And another thing again, like, I used to complain, like I used to tell them, like, when I go for my antenatal checks, I used to be telling them like, hey, like, I'm not feeling my baby moving, but on the monitor when they do the ultrasound and everything, she's like kicking up a storm. I'm like, I'm not feeling her or anything of the sort. So they were saying that, oh, probably it's because of your weight, why you're not feeling it, and because it's your first time, your first pregnancy. But no, I'm like realizing that what they were telling me, like, that didn't make any sense at all. That was just not making any sense, right? So anyways, as I was saying, I went to the hospital the morning when I woke up, and I peed and I saw blood. And they did, like, I don't know if it was a pap smear, but there is this thing like where they insert the iron thing up. Like, that was so painful to do a swab to see where the bleeding was coming from and stuff like that. So yeah, they inserted like an iron thing where they screwed up inside my vagina. Like, it was super super painful, like, but they were saying that, okay, I don't see anything wrong or anything of the sort as to why um at the time, that, yeah, there were blood coming, but I guess because they were doing that test, why we'll see a little blood and stuff like that. So they say that, oh, they're gonna send me to the hospital so they can put a strap thing over my belly to monitor to see how the baby is progressing or what is wrong with the baby and stuff like that. So they put the strap thing to count her movements, to monitor her movements and like her heartbeat. Everything was okay, pretty strong and stuff like that. So they saying that, oh, I need to go do an ultrasound to be certain of what is going on. So I did the ultrasound and everything. The ultrasound came back that everything was okay. The heartbeat, she was moving, everything was pretty normal and stuff like that. So anyways, I went home, and a couple of days I'm still not feeling my baby. So because I just did the ultrasound like 3 or 4 days ago, I wasn't like worrying, because being 37 plus, every week I have to go for my antenatal visits and stuff like that, just to check up and all those things, right? So I was home. I'm like, I'm not feeling my baby, and my mood was pretty down. Like I was going into a depressing mode. I did everything, because I used to like put the headphone over my tummy and play like music and stuff like that, and I would like read storybooks to her and stuff like that. I was still not feel the kicks, and I was like so in a depression mentally, and I didn't say anything to anyone. I didn't say anything to like my baby father or like my mother or stuff like that. I was just keeping it inside, like, but I was really down, and it was at the point like I just wanted to like my due date to come where I just can meet my baby, for me to just be out of this neck of the woods as it relates to pregnancy and stuff like that. So anyways, I was saying that yes, I cannot feel my baby and stuff like that. So anyways, now I had like a checkup the next day. Did I last you guys? I don't wanna hold on. Where was I? Yes. So I said like after I got home back from doing the ultrasound, it was like a couple days past. Like 3-4 days. So it was like for me to go back now to they put me on a high risk clinic. Yes, so I was supposed to start my high risk clinic. But before I was supposed to start that, I had my original checkup before the high risk. So they said that, still come to the original one, even though you're gonna be on high risk and stuff like that. So anyways, yes, so it was, I remember one morning, the morning before, it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. I have remember I have my clinic visits like probably about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, but I could not sleep. I got up like 3 in the morning, and I was like, I don't know what came over me, but I was feeling so depressed, and I'm like, you know what, I cannot wait to just go to my doctor's visit, and when I hear my baby heartbeat, I know it's gonna let me feel so much better. Like this mood that I'm in is gonna be over, because I'm gonna just see my baby and hear her heartbeat, because that was the only thing that was on my mind that could have gotten me out of that state of mind. So when I was up like 3 in the morning, I was doing some worship. I read my Bible, I pray and stuff like that. Then I went to my antenatal visit, right? So when I went to the antenatal visit, when I went into like the nurse, I said to her like, hey, I still not feeling very moving and stuff like that. And she's saying, okay, let's check to see what's going on, whatever. She told me to go on the bed and stuff like that so we can listen to heartbeat. So when I was on the bed, she was like, okay, she must be stubborn, because I can't find her, whatever. I can't hear the heartbeat and stuff like that. She said like, oh, she must be very stubborn today. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, no, this is so strange, because as they normally put the what's the thing called? I don't even know. On my belly, it will automatically hear her heartbeat like that. So anyways, now she was like so concerned, and she's like, no, I don't know what is wrong, but she wasn't saying that something is wrong, but in my mind, my motherly instinct was like, hey, something is wrong, right? So she was like, all right, we're gonna send you to the hospital, like we're gonna bring you to the hospital and stuff like that, to for them to see what's going on, because this doesn't look like, it's something good. So anyways, I started panicking, like bawling my eyes out and stuff like that. I told my baby father and like my mother, and they were like, okay, we are behind you and stuff like that, because they were bringing me over to the hospital. When I went over to the hospital and stuff like that, they were there searching and searching and searching, still cannot find the heartbeat. And I'm like, they are bawling, like, what is going on? And I remember one of the nurses, they test my pulse right here, and she was like to the other nurse, like, hey, I'm not feeling the baby's pulse, is like it's disconnect. I don't even know that was possible and stuff like that. And she was saying to me, oh, don't cry, because we don't know exactly what's going on. We're gonna have you do an ultrasound to see what is going on, but you don't want to put unnecessary stress on yourself and be crying and stuff like that. But them could tell me that me a ball out me eye, me a ball out me eye, me a ball out me eye. Anyways, no, they said that they were gonna admit me, right? So I sent for all my stuff and things like that for me, both me and the baby. So I was waiting for them to bring me to do the ultrasound. So anyways, now during that time I was still bawling and stuff like that. I was there on the phone talking to my family and stuff like that. They were praying and all those things, and I was just like, what is this? Like, in an instant, like my whole world was upside down. My whole life was outside of my comfort zone. I don't even know what is going on. I'm so lost. So anyways, I went to do the ultrasound, and normally, like when you're doing an ultrasound, they will like show you the like the monitor. But when I was in the room, I can remember this so vividly, because I still have PTSD from this. Like, it was such a dark room. It was so dark and cold, y'all. And they the doctor, he turned the ultrasound machine away from me, and he was there, and I was laying on the bed, and I was crying. I was bawling, not crying, bawling. And in my head I was like, okay, something has to be wrong for him not to be showing me my baby. And I remember he saying to me, I am sorry, but your baby cannot make it. I literally, I don't know how to explain how I felt at that time, but it was like having open heart surgery without anesthesia. Like, everything broke inside of me and stuff like that. So they bring me back to the ward and stuff like that, and they was like, oh, I'm gonna get a counselor to come and talk to you and all those things, because we're gonna have to induce you so you can deliver the next morning. Or they said that the next morning they were gonna induce me. So it was a Thursday that it happened, and I got admitted a Thursday, so they're saying that they were gonna do the induce a Friday morning, but they're gonna get the counselors to come and talk to me and stuff like that. So I was admitted. I was there all alone in the hospital, because you know how Jamaican hospital system is. It was I was living in Trelawney at the time, so I was in Farmer Hospital. So you have other mothers giving birth who already gave birth. You're seeing a baby, and I'm surrounded by all of that, and I'm like, okay, I am here. My baby basically is dead inside of me. I'm not gonna go home with my baby. Like, my whole world was just like so upside down. It was so painful for me, and I remember I just curled up in the bed, and I just cried. I cried all night that night. I'm cutting out some stuff, guys, because I don't want this video to be too long. And I cried all night. Then the next morning, they came and they induced me. Yes, I did talk to the counselor and stuff like that. And they induced me. And I was like, when they did the first induce, I think it was a pill. It wasn't working because I think 12 hours after, was it 12 hours after they did the induce with the pill, it wasn't working. I think I dilated like 1.5 centimeter inside. So they were saying that. I was like, you know what, can I just have a C-section, because I just want this to be so over. Like, there's no point for me to be going through all this long thing, and I know that at the end of the day there is nothing good coming from it, right? So anyways, now they're saying that they have to exhaust every option possible as it relates to getting me induced before C-section, because C-section could be high risk where I can lose my life and something can go wrong. So they don't want to risk it. It has to be a last resort, right? So they were saying that, oh, also I don't want to leave you with a scar and you don't have your baby to show for it, right? So anyways, now they said that they're gonna try a different method. This one, they call it like it's a balloon thing. If you anybody know what it's like, comment down below and let me know, where they insert like a balloon thing and it goes like this. It closes and it open. So it was working my cervix, getting me trying to get me dilated and stuff like that. That was the worst pain of my life, guys. That induced work, but let me tell you, when that was working, every time it will expand. Was it expand or contract? I don't even know the difference. Every time it expand, it's like I blocked out, because I was like literally, I was like having cold sweats and stuff like that. And I remember I was on my phone with my baby phone, and I was like in and out of consciousness, right? Because like every time that thing expand, I'm blocked out. So the pain was like this and that and that and that. So they said that, oh, I read up and stuff like that. They said like when you feel like you want to defecate, that's time when the baby is gonna come and stuff like that. So it reached that point where I felt like I wanted to defecate. So I know that, hey, it's time for whatever me to, for me to deliver the baby. So I was like, nurse, like I want to defecate, and she was like, I go into the delivery room and stuff like that. So I had to, nobody to assist me, y'all. That is the next story. That is the next part of how like they were super like, I don't even know, unattentive to me. I don't even know if because they realized that, oh, this is a stillbirth situation and practically there's nothing that they can do, so they didn't really pay me much of an attention. So she was like going, I had to literally crawl. I was on drip, and you know the thing, that the iron thing, so I had to hold on to it. I practically crawled on the floor to go into the delivery room, right? When I went into the delivery room, another girl was in there. She was having a baby, so she was on that bed. So the bed that they put me on, there was nothing to put up my foot, so I had to hold up my foot with my 2 hands. Guys, let me tell you, I am at the place where I can talk about it and not really get emotional or break down and cry and stuff like that, right? So anyways, now they were like, okay, I remember like the doctor came over and he like insert his hands to test to see something, but I remember he did something and like I felt my water like break, like I just feel the warm running down, and he was like, he just walked away. And then like Nobody was there, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, no, everybody walked away. That doctor walked away, and the nurses, they were attending to the other girl, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And like, I heard one of the nurses like, why is she not pushing? That's what I heard she said, and I was like, oh my god. So anyways, no, one of the nurses said, every time you feel like you feel pain, you push, but if you're not feeling the pain, don't push. And that is how I was doing it. But guys, it was so hard for me because I was feeling the pain and I was pushing, but remember that my baby died, so basically I don't have any help from her for her to be pushing also. I'm practically on my own. So I was there screaming, like basically her head was I felt like when her head come, but it was stuck, right? So there was nothing, like basically I was just there pushing, but basically what happened was like she stopped. And I remember this nurse, she used to like when I went for my antenatal checks, she recognized me and she was like, hey Sean, you don't have baby as yet and stuff like that. She came into the delivery room, like her shift just started, and I remember her, she jumped on the bed over me and she was like, push Keisha, you have to get it out, you have to get her out, push. And she was like pressing on my tummy, pressing to help me. So she was being the force that the baby was supposed to be giving me, and that was how I was able to have my baby and stuff like that. Until she come out, like guys, I was like still praying for a miracle, because throughout my whole thought process I was crying and was like, God, this is not what I asked you for. Like, okay, just give me a miracle then, basically give me a miracle. I was like, okay, if she come out, just make she cry or something, just give me a miracle, right? And I didn't hear any cries. I didn't hear her cry. And the same nurse that assisted me, she was like, do you want to hold your baby and take pictures? And I was like, no, I don't. I regret not holding her, but the nurse, she did take my phone and she did take photos. I don't share those with anyone. It's just for me only, personal. But she had tall legs, guys. Like, she was so beautiful. Like, she was super tall. And I remember I just stand there looking at my baby laying there, cold, lifeless, and I was just crying. And they said that, the funeral home is gonna come and take her because they're gonna have to do an autopsy to see like the cause of death, to see if it was like on my side, maternal side, or if it was on her side and stuff like that. So I'm trying to this video is getting super long, guys. I'm trying to see if I can get the important parts of it. Yes, so like I went back to my bed and I didn't even know that, like, me literally, my mind, for sure, is something about that thing, like, me just had a baby, and let me go and take cold shower and stuff like that. All those things I was doing wrong. It was my first pregnancy. Like, there was, like, throughout the whole, I know that it wasn't something for me to do at the time, but, I mean, like, with everything, like, let me tell you, I was like living an out-of-body experience, so I don't even know what was going on, right? But the next morning, no, like, I remember I text my mom and like, and I need stuff, like I need sheets and stuff like that. And I remember like they came and I was like getting up off the bed. When I get up off the bed, like a lot of blood, like, and I screamed out. I was like, nurse, and like my mom, she ran. Like, I'm laughing, guys, but it's not funny because she ran, and I was like, nurse, like, I'm bleeding, I can't stop bleeding, because I was there laying down crying all night. This was the Saturday morning, by the way. After I had the baby like 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. So this was like 7, 8 ish. And I said, nurse, whatever. So when they came and they see all that blood, they couldn't bother to bring me into the delivery room again. So they was like, they draw the curtains and stuff like that. And when they realized, oh, you had a tear, and they're like, oh, doctor is not here as yet to like numb it or whatever be the case, so we're gonna have to stitch it. Like, she literally said to me, it's either you're gonna bear the pain or you're gonna die. So I had to bear the pain to get the stitches raw, guys, down there. Let me tell you, I screamed, I cried. Like, it was not a nice experience. It was such an excruciating pain. But I almost lost my life, and I lost my baby. So anyways, I think a couple weeks after they did the autopsy to find out the cause of death. So the cause of her death was like she tangled in the umbilical cord, and basically it wrapped around her neck. So it wasn't anything on my end maternal wise or anything where she didn't develop properly. It was just like she was too flexible, so she ended up tangling. She stretched the umbilical cord too much, and it ended up going around her neck and stuff like that. So that is how I lost my baby Azealia. And if you guys want to know what has my healing process, my grieving process been like, comment down below and I can do another updated video and stuff like that. But yes, guys, so that is my stillbirth story. I did cut out a lot of parts, so if there's something that you guys are curious about, you can just comment down below and ask it, and I will answer your question. But yeah, so this is my baby girl and stuff like that. This is her ultrasound thing that I framed. I also have this box that I kept. It's like a memory box, so let me show you. So I had the tests that I took. Yeah, this was supposed to be her outfit, like everything that I picked out for her to wear when she born. Like, yeah, so that is it, guys. So anyways, comment down below and let me know whatever you guys want to ask. Also and also, like, I ended up doing they were asking me if I wanted to do like a funeral, but during that whole process I didn't want to do a funeral, so I ended up doing a cremation. So I cremated her and stuff like that. So yeah, this is the end of my story time. I hope it wasn't too long. So anyways, bye guys, love you.